Hello everybody, how are you doing? It's Rob at Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. It's still June 1st, 2024, but it's 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon here. Um, so figured I wanted to do another video, some more MSA discs and such. This will probably be a shorter one because I don't have as much of this stuff to show you, but I did kind of bring it up yesterday. So a couple shout outs right now. Dan's Vintage Baseball. Watching his Phil Rizzuto show with Super Collector Andrea Part 2. Watching that, and Part 1, I've seen that earlier in the week. Pretty good stuff. I like her collection. Um, she got a lot of stuff. It's pretty neat stuff. And so just been watching some of y'all's videos today. Orlando at a Collector's Dream, and some of you guys, some pretty cool stuff out there. So anyways, what I want to do today is to continue on moving along from these early MSA discs, which stand for Mike Schechter and Associates Inc., or Michael Schechner and Associates, as sometimes you'll see it. There's the salesman sample to try to get companies to order their sets of cards for the Players Association. Just go back and watch those videos. And hey, if you guys don't mind, go back and watch my Cracker Jack video, the one with the Ballpark Legends. Only got like 12 views on that. So those are some really cool cards that I've been waiting a long time to show those. So it'd be nice for some people to see those. That's like the Ballpark Legends 1 and 2 from 2005, 2006. So it's like probably 4 or 5 videos ago. And if you guys wouldn't mind, if you could share or like or subscribe or leave comments and all that. Just 4 shy of 100 people subscribing, so that would be neat to finally reach that point in time. So anyways, MSA, pretty well known for doing these discs. So what I'm going to do today, or right now, is what I discussed about my oddball box here, was that when I was a kid, teenager, whatever, I was fascinated with oddball food issue, product issue cards. Because of me, I made the connection between that and like old tobacco cards and caramel cards and original Cracker Jacks, and that's how cards were. And I also like circulated cards that you had to get out of the packaging, like the cereal box and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes they come as they are, that's just the way they were. Just like some of those Stallmeyer hot dogs or whatever, hot dog cards or Red Man cards will have stains and stuff like that, or Cracker Jack with caramel stains. This is a little set of cards that I really dig, the circulated ones, because they do show some of the packaging issues. Now you could order these in complete uncut sheets, and I do have some of these back in Albuquerque at my brother's, I believe. I don't think I have them here. If I do, then I'll do another episode. But that is the MSA oddball card from the 80s, and that is the Jiffy Pop series. Now that Jiffy Pop is the little little tin, that metal tin with the foil on it, with a little handle, and you put it over the fire on your stove, and you shake it, and then it pops and it balloons up into a little thing of popcorn that you can eat. And these came out, and now don't try that Jiffy Pop on an electric stove. It doesn't work. It only works under like fire stove. Learned that the hard way. But anyways, on top of that, there would be a little cardboard thing saying Jiffy Pop, that the packaging, and back in the day, it would say, get a free baseball card. And then the card would be under that cardboard thing and pinched under the round metal foil edge. And a lot of times you'll see that damage on the cards, and I think that's super cool because that's just the way it was. So anyhow, like I said, in '87, I probably wasn't even the one shopping for food. So the fact that I got stuff was me convincing my mom to get it or something like that. And so I don't have a whole lot. So this will probably be a little bit shorter video because of that reason. And these are the actual things I picked up at the time. And then of course I did order some of the uncut sheets that you could get back in those days as well. But I want to move on with these discs. And so here we go, 1987 Jiffy Pop. And this first one here is Keith Hernandez. So as you can see there, it says it's the second annual collector's edition. So they must have done one in '86 as well. And there you go, there's the MSA for the Michael Schenkter and Associates marketing firm for the Major League Players Association. And just your standard kind of MSA image, but these are super cool cards. They are very like a updated modern version of these, so like 10 years later. And of course they're smaller, more like the wiffle ball size ones, but bigger than like the King Bee jerky discs. But as you can see, it's got that baseball stitching on there, so it is like a reimagining of these original ones that they used to do in the mid-70s. Pretty plain. This one's in pretty good shape. You can see it's been punched out. However, they manufactured those. The circle's a little off to the right there. You got some increasing size stars clockwise. There you go, Keith Hernandez, number 4 of 20, so it's 20 card set. So the panel, the uncut sheet would be about the size of my little desktop, so about the size of your screen. Imagine that, with just these little edges here. So that's about what the size of one of those uncut sheets would be. And if you need a little more reference, here's a standard size card. So there you go. I'll show that someday. So anyways, I loved the discs. I just really love these. And I'll be honest with you people, just like Cracker Jacks, every single time I walk down the aisle at the store, now the first ones I did pick up was in '87. I didn't know anything about them in '86. But since I picked up these cards in '87, every single time, doesn't matter if it's in Christmas time, the summer, and they usually put the Jiffy Pops on the top shelf in the popcorn section, like above all the microwave popcorn and all that. Almost every single time I walk down that aisle and I see Jiffy Pop, I have to reach up there and see, are they ever going to do this again? If I have it, I have to check to see if they have the Jiffy Pop cards or something like it, just like Cracker Jack. Cracker Jack's been a lot more consistent. Every 4 or 5 to 10 years they would do something, but Jiffy Pop just did it those few years and that's it. Never seen anything again. Never seen them offer anything again, like any other product or movie or anything like that. So that's kind of interesting. You'd think that would be something they would get into, like maybe doing like little miniature movie posters or movie cards, like a card doesn't even have to be round, of like a movie poster, because popcorn and movies, right? Alright, so there we go. So let's move along. Sorry about that. And then we got Hall of Famer, Ripken Jr. there. MSA Disc, Baltimore Orioles shortstop, 87. I'll show you something on this card in a minute. One's a little better centered on the back. That's 8 of 20. Here's the stats for you from 86. I didn't know he was 6'4". Wow. But if you take a look at this at an angle, you see that little pinch, the little indentations along there is where this card was put into the side of the Jiffy Pop thing, and as you can see, it's going in this direction. So it was put into that Jiffy Pop, and then that cardboard was probably put on there, which pinched down on the foil and put that indentation in that card. And I know that would not help this card on grading, but I wouldn't care because I don't really do grading. And to me, I like that, because if this card's in good shape and it has that, that means it came out of the wild, as I like to call it, and that was actually circulated. And you know, just like a Thai cob T206 with a Thai cob back, and it's got some tobacco stains on it because it came in a tin of Thai cob tobacco. Yeah, that means it's what it's supposed to be. That's exactly what it was meant to be. So I don't know how you can downgrade a card like this, like if you were PSA or something like that, when that's the way they were meant to be. These cards aren't coming out of packs. These cards aren't, in theory, meant to be pristine in that sense, because that's not what they were. You know, it's like finding a baseball glove that's 100 years old, and you could tell that somebody used it a few times, but it's never been really used. It's not broken in. And so, yeah, that's cool that you get to see what it looks like unbroken in, but you know, you want to see those broken in old leather baseball glove. That's just, there's that cool factor that it was used. So anyways, there's your Hall of Famer, Ripken Jr. Guess I'm doing a little more talking because I got a lot of little less stuff. Another Hall of Famer, same thing. You can see that indentation there for Mr. Rickey Henderson, New York Yankees, MSA 1987 Jiffy Pop Series. And that would have been 14 out of 20. Okay, and just to show you the back, that's where that pinching is. It's right in here, so can't tell as much on the back because it's not glossy, but you can kind of see it there. A little train track running there. I dig that. I think that's super cool. And yeah, I just love circulated cards. This one's got a little patina to it, a little discoloration over the years, or maybe that's just from the butter and grease or whatever they use. Seeped up or something like that. Doesn't smell like anything. Just very simple too. And you know, I've talked about that before. I love sometimes I really love cards that are super simple, no frills as far as the back goes. That's super simple, and I dig that. And the front's pretty cool, you know, so you get the best of both worlds, so to speak. Alright, so 1987, that's it. I don't know if I have the complete sheet of this one. I'm fairly certain I have the complete sheet of the next one. Now keep in mind, like I said, when I would have seen those, you know, sometime during the summer, I would have, you know, talked my mom into getting those, and then they would go away. You know, they would, once they were sold or expired or something, they would put out the next batch on the shelf, and then they were gone, and then you'd have to wait till the next year. And so Here's the 1988, the third annual collector's edition. You know, they went with different designs, pretty cool design. And I believe this is the one also on that cardboard packaging cover. Would have said, oh, send in 3 or whatever proofs of purchases and you can get the complete uncut sheet. So I believe I do have this in the uncut sheet because I believe my boy Andre Dawson's part of this set, which he may be in my binder. I mean my binder over there. So there we go. Got 3 baseballs on the front, some kind of swoosh, Jiffy Pop, and that is Major League Baseball Players Association. And I believe that's where the MSA is, right down there. As we try to focus. Yep, MSA. So anyways, Mr. Brett Saberhagen for Kansas City Royals. So a little bit different back, a little more elaborate back. So definitely a little more elaborate card than the previous former whatever. Alright, so kind of got a mimicking back, looks similar to the front. And same thing, so it's just replaced, you know, it's got the flat paper back, but basically the same design exactly, just replaced the image with the stats. So it shows you a couple of your stats there. Number 15 of 20. So that's pretty neat. Alright, then I got a couple, this next card, and that is Will the Thrill Clark for San Francisco. So we got 2 of them. And so this one, now these it definitely got a pinch in it, but instead of the little railroad, it's like definitely a little pinched in. You can see that right there, right along the Jiffy Pop. So instead of railroading, it just kind of indented. And you can see it a little better on the back there. But I think that's kind of cool. I dig that. When you see something like that on one of these cards, like if you're going through a bargain box, you know it's the real deal. Not that anyone would ever counterfeit these, maybe in 50 years. But that's a good sign. And I don't know if people would cut these out of the complete uncut sheet. If you did, they would call them like squares. They would probably list it as like a proof or something like that, because they would just cut it a square, because I don't know how you would cut this out. You would need some kind of die cut punch or something like that, which is probably what Jiffy Pop did, or whoever did the printing, I should say. So we got a Will Clark there. There's his stats for you Giants fans. Alright, then we'll show you this other one. Now and that's just the thing too, you know, so the pinch on this one is up here and the pinch on this one is on the side. So, you know, these would rotate whenever they went to package this, you know, so it could be anywhere on the card. But that's super cool. Will the Thrill Clark. And then I got Kent Herbeck. So for your Twins, they just won the World Series right before these came out. But then sometimes, like this card has no pinching at all. So when it went into there, and it would normally get clipped to the edge, well, sometimes they didn't clip in there and they were just underneath the cardboard. So having the little pinch or railroad thing doesn't always mean that was an actual, the way they all came. Some of them came out, survived that way. So even as much as I like these little pinches on these cards, Obviously, if you had the Kent Herbeck with the pinch on it, the Kent Herbeck that made it out without that, but it came out of the actual product, you know, it's pretty much tell it's got some little stuff going on here because it's been through it, you know. Obviously, this one would be probably a little more rare that you can find one without any um, packaging damage. So I guess in that case, that would make this card a little bit rarer, you know. Like if every T206 had a bent bottom right corner because of the way they packaged them, and 1% made it out without that. For whatever reason, the packing machine didn't push the card in there the right way, and it didn't come up with the damage, then obviously those would be the more expensive. So if you're into, you know, one of these people that are like, I gotta have the best example, you know, you would want this, and then maybe you'd want one that shows the common to show the difference between the two. So there we go. Those are my basic Jiffy Pop cards there. And so there's the stats for Kent Herbeck, World Series winner there. Alright, so what I'm going to show you next is, the reason I'm going to do this is because this is one of the only ones of these I actually have, outside of maybe my Andre Dawson stuff. So this really doesn't have anywhere else that it could be showed other than just, oh, here's this and that's that. So these, I believe, are from the tea sets. So like the iced teas, you know, like Lipton, or you know, some of the like store brands, or maybe regional tea companies, the powdered tea. So you'd buy a little jar of like lemon flavored tea, and then you would mix it in water with ice, and you could have a tea without having to brew tea or sun brew tea. I believe that this is where these came out of, and I remember hearing about them, like looking at Beckett back then, that there were tea sets, and I didn't know about that. That was not one of the things I was looking at when I would go to the grocery store. And then after that, I used to look up and down every time for years. I would always go and look at the tea set, like tea products at the store, and never came across one that had them. Maybe I seen it once, but I just couldn't afford it, or my mom was like, no. And then I never seen them again. Just kind of like the Wonder Bread or something like that. Just never saw them in the packaging. So I picked this up somewhere along the way, I believe at a card store or show. And so it doesn't say specifically what tea brand it is. It could be from something else for all I know, but I'm fairly sure it said tea. And so I don't know what tea brand. All I know is that is the 1988, I believe. Yes, 1988 MSA Discs. I guess they're still considered discs, even though they're more like I don't know, like a octagon or something like that, stop sign kind of shape. And that's the Darryl Strawberry with the Dwight Gooden. We know both of their issues, very similar issues. I don't think they got along either, but you could see it's perforated there. You could pull that out, and this perforated, I believe there was like a kind of like the Burger King, maybe there was a coupon connected to it. So that's the second annual one. So obviously I didn't know about the first annual one, and I probably found out about the second annual one and then never were able to see them again. That's probably when they stopped doing them. So they're cool, you know, they're super simple, which I like the super simple, but they're not just plain. They're kind of cool. That blue on red and yellow, little diamond shape in there. So that's pretty neat stuff. Alright, let me set that over here. And since it's unopened, that is very similar in design. So I believe at the same time MSA was doing these, you know, they did other ones just like it for other companies. So like this one here is an unopened complete set of Fantastic Sam's, 1988 I believe, 87, 88. See, there you go, you got the Don Mattingly. Yeah, 1988 collector's edition. These are definitely MSA because I have some loose, or at least one loose. And so George Brett there, Hall of Famer right there. And Mr. Don Mattingly. You could go online and look up this checklist, set list. Now the interesting thing about this is, you know, this is probably another 20 card set because it's the same thing, two cards to a thing. And I don't believe there's any way you would be able to get that many haircuts in a summer. They probably ran this promotion for, let's say, 2 to 3 months. So I don't believe there's any way you would ever been able to complete a set by going into the store, getting your hair cut, and they would give you one of these little panels, they would give you the little 2-disc panel every time you got a haircut. So there's no way you would have been able to put together that full, you'd have had to get your hair cut 10 times and hope that you got whatever card they were doing that week or whatever. Maybe they just gave them out, maybe they came like this and they would hand them out randomly, or maybe okay, this week we're doing the Don Mattingly so-and-so, then next week we'll be doing that one, kind of like maybe Happy Meals worked. So there had to be, I would imagine they would have had to been an additional panel that you could order. Hey, show us your receipt or something like that. Show us, maybe it came with little things, send this in with $2 or $5 and you can get the complete set, and they would send you this. So I'd imagine that would have to be the case, because I just don't see you being able to get enough haircuts unless you shaved your head. But how many kids did that to get this complete set? So there's that stuff. I'm going to pause you and go look for my loose ones. Hang on a second. All right, people, thank you. Thanks for waiting. So yeah, I do have a couple more. So we'll start here, since that's where I left off last. So I do have an Andre Dawson, so obviously I think I ordered this from eBay 10, 15, probably 15 years ago or something like that. And because I collect Andre Dawson, but of course I collect oddball stuff. So when I did see somebody had a complete set, I don't remember where I got this one at, I ordered the complete set. So this is going to be very similar to those T cards. So I don't know. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to see how this actually worked. Oh, so it was only one person, one per card. So I thought it was a 2-person card. So it's not going to be exactly like this, where you get 2 people. So this even makes it more interesting, because there's no way you could have got all these from getting your hair cut. So there's the Andre Dawson 88 Collector's Edition. So here we go. There's what was attached to it, this contest. 4 tickets to grand prize, 4 tickets to 88 championship game. First prize, win a pro player for a day. Instant prizes, autographed baseball, baseball caps, and uncut sheets. Alright. And let's see. There's your entry form, so I guess you scratch that off. So, yeah. Then that makes me wonder if this was a complete set that was sent to the actual Fantastic Sam's to give, you know, to open these up and give a card away for anyone asking for them when you got your haircut. So at least now we get to see the back. It has an MSA on both little cards. There's Andre Dawson's stats for his MVP year. 621 at bats, 178 hits, 49 homers, 137 RBIs, with a 287 batting average. Of course, cut short by getting beaten in the face by Eric Shaw for about 10 games. And number 15 of 20, so super simple. I dig that. That's right up my alley. So I love that. There's that. And so, yeah, that's interesting. Alright, and just to go back to the Jiffy Pop really quick. So the 88 set. Like I said, Brett Saberhagen, Will Clark, Kent Herbeck. I have third annual 1988 Andre Dawson of the Chicago Cubs. So super dark image, not the greatest image, but still, that's my man Andre. So I had to get this card, folks. And yeah, I don't even see where. Oh yeah, never mind, that's Fantastic Sam's. But there you go, so it gives you a couple years stats. And so there you go. That's my collection of loose Jiffy Pop T and Fantastic Sam's cards. So there we go, some more MSA discs for you guys to look over. Hope you enjoy that as much as I enjoyed collecting these over the years. It just gave me something to do whenever I'd go out shopping or going to an antique store or card store or whatever. A lot of times this is the stuff I'm looking for. What's garbage to other people is gold to me. So hey everybody, thanks for watching Old Style Classics Baseball Cards, and I'll find some more stuff to show you and be back a little later. Alright, take care. Bye.